based on what I just said, which I can't retract.
And remember, Trump's sole condition for whether or not he likes you is whether you are willing to genuflect at his altar. And because Carter wasn't willing to grovel at his feet like the rest of the Republican Party does, then Trump refuses to show him even a modicum of respect. That is how loyalty works with a guy. It's a one-way street. You're expected to give it, and in return, you can expect nothing. And amazingly, this isn't even the only time that Trump has thrown a fit over this issue, over the flag being lowered out of respect for leaders who pass away. According to MSNBC, in 2018, just 2 days after Senator John McCain's death, Trump had the White House flag raised to full staff, prompting fierce criticism from Republicans, Democrats, and veterans groups. Trump, whose relationship with McCain was infamously strained, eventually relented and ordered the flag to be lowered again. Trump was not invited to McCain's funeral, and months later complained that he didn't get a thank you for giving the Arizona Republican the kind of funeral he wanted. Not for nothing, but if Republicans didn't elect the most insecure man-child on earth, they wouldn't have to contend with the embarrassment that he brings onto himself on a daily basis. And yet, here we are. And one more thing, because I know Trump is hell-bent on rewriting history, and Republicans are perfectly content to humor him, and our media is too cowardly to stand up to him. But when Trump says, look at what they've done to our once great America over the past 4 years, it's a total mess, let's not forget that the last 4 years watched Democrats take the disaster economy that Trump left, in which 3 million jobs were lost, the economy contracted 2.2%, and the unemployment rate rose to 6.3%, and they added 16 million jobs, brought the unemployment rate down to a 50-year low, brought the stock market to a record high, and oversaw the fastest economic recovery on earth. Let's not forget that the Democrats were the ones who passed an infrastructure law, one of Trump's biggest failed promises. Let's not forget the Democrats were the ones who oversaw a jobs boom, one of Trump's biggest failed promises. Let's not forget that the Democrats were the ones who oversaw a manufacturing renaissance, one of Trump's biggest failed promises. It was the Democrats who capped the cost of insulin and inhalers at $35. It was the Democrats who capped out-of-pocket healthcare costs at $2,000. It was the Democrats who are responsible for rural broadband, which will overwhelmingly benefit Republican areas and Republican voters. It was the Democrats who protected earned benefits like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, even as Republicans continue to this day to threaten to privatize the programs that you have spent your entire life paying into. It was the Democrats who protected our veterans by passing the PACT Act, ensuring that they would receive health care over the objections by Republicans, even as they beat their chests as the party of the military. It was the Democrats who ushered in billions and billions of dollars of investments from companies committed to the next generation of clean energy manufacturing, thanks to the CHIPS and Sciences Act. It was the Democrats who passed the biggest climate protection law in history so that we have clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and a habitable planet to live on. So I understand that Republicans are salty because they can barely manage to elect speakers, much less pass a modicum of legislation that will materially improve anyone's life who isn't already a millionaire or billionaire, but please miss us with this revisionist history about Democrats not knowing how to govern. And finally, here's a moment from Jimmy Carter's life that I think is worth remembering, not just because of the moment itself, but to put on full display how he had more class on any random Tuesday than Trump will show on his very best day.
Hello, President Carter. Karen Greer, CBS 46 News. And just wondering, you touched upon it a little bit. In your illustrious career, as you said, governor here, president, even as husband, father, grandfather, is there anything, or tell us, share with us what you're most proud of, and if there's anything you might have done differently or thought, maybe I wish I had not done that?
Well, the best thing I ever did was marrying Rosalind. That's the pinnacle of my life. And we've had 69 years together, still together. And so that's the best thing that happened to me. But I think getting involved in politics and going up, as a state senator, then governor, and then president of the United States is obviously a glorious event. So, and we have a growing family. We have 22 grandchildren and great-grandchildren, 12 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren now, and they come in every year. So we have a good and harmonious family. And I would say the haven for our lives has been in Plains, Georgia. I plan to teach Sunday school this Sunday and every Sunday as long as I'm, physically and mentally able in my little church. And we have hundreds of visitors who come to see the curiosity of a politician teaching the Bible. So, so I'll continue that. So I've just had a lot of blessings.
Before you go, just a quick note, if you'd like to see more of my content, which is always free of advertising, sponsorships, and paywalls, please make sure to subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button right here on the screen. And if you'd like to support my work even further, you can grab a copy of my instant #1 New York Times selling book, Shameless, available for sale right now. That link is also on the screen. Thanks so much for watching.